can get up and play a 30-minute set in front of 40,000 people any day.
Right.
You're like, hey, give a 30-minute speech. I'd be like, no, no.
Man, you've had a big year. It's been a year. You probably get that a lot. That's probably an old joke, I'm sure.
We do. In our band, it's a running joke.
It's been a year. And you're coming up on a year since you released your debut album, Shot in the Dark. And I'm just curious, how do you reflect on this past nearly a year? I know you're not quite there, but you're almost there. How do you reflect on all of this? Like what does it feel like in the rearview mirror?
Man, that's so weird. I didn't even realize that it was coming up on a year. It feels like it was yesterday. That's so, like, truly so crazy. Because it was July, so wow, that's nuts. Man, honestly, it really feels like I've just blinked and all of a sudden we're here. I think we've been so deep in album promo and touring and all this stuff that I haven't really had a chance to actually, like, take a minute to really feel what the last year has looked like. But that album and the song Your Place and Never Till Now and all these songs that are on there, it's truly changed my life in the best way. And it's weird to think about, about a year ago where we were prepping for the album and the visuals and the photo shoots and all the things that we did. It's crazy to look back on and to know that I'm a year out of for my debut album. It's so wild. I feel like time is just absolutely flying. It's that's maybe just what happens when you're just busy all the time, but it's nuts. It feels like I'm gonna blink and it'll be 10 years from now. It's just gonna be like,
yeah, you know what? I mean, yeah. I mean, obviously I have not been in the exact same situation you're in, but I can tell you that blinking and then looking back and it's been 10 years. Yeah, that happens. You mentioned Your Place, and that is just such a massive song. That song has been huge for you, and it's blowing up on radio and topping charts. It's crazy big. And I'm curious, did you ever imagine when you're writing the song, you're recording the song, did you ever think to yourself like, oh, this is going to be a big hit? Or were you kind of like, oh, wow, this song is a hit?
I think personally, deep within myself, I always felt like this song was really special. And I fought for it, in rooms where people maybe didn't think that it was the song or whatever it may be. I really fought for it. And the day that we wrote it, I felt it like deep within myself, my soul. I was like, this feels like a really cool song. And I'm really proud of this song. And it was one of those songs where I had to ask myself, actually, somebody asked me this one time, like, if there was one song you could show somebody that never heard of you before, and you were like, hey, this is a song that represents my whole life and artistic career and what I do, it'd be Your Place. And that's what I thought about. I was like, man, because it's unique, as a clever flip on the hook. It just feels good. There's so many things about that song that I really think is special. And so there have been other songs that I didn't think that I was like, I'm so caught off guard, I didn't know. But this one, I feel like in a cool way, I've always kind of felt like it was a really special song. And for that, I'm really thankful that I trusted my gut and fought for it,
I'll tell you this. I would agree with you that that's definitely a great representation of who you are, because I always talk with my mom about when I'm doing interviews, right? So she loves to know and all that stuff. And so I always send her music of who I'm going to be talking to. And that is the song of yours that I sent to her. I was like, check out this song. I think this is the song you'll like the best. This is the song that's been really big. And she loved it. She was like, oh, I love this. This is so great. So I agree with you. Now, I am curious. I want to pick up on something you said there. You said that you had to fight for that song. And I've talked to people who have had to fight for their songs before, and I always love hearing those stories. So I would love to hear a little bit about like what it was for you having to go to bat for that tune.
Oh, 100%. Well, obviously, you sit in rooms with your label team and your management team and all the teams that are around you. Because as an artist, it takes a village, and I have the best village ever. I will say this till I'm blue in the face. Like, my team is just incredible. They really are just like the best people to work with. But in these rooms, obviously you have different brains and different perspectives, which is a beautiful thing, which is why we do this, right? Because like, I can't be the only one that's like, well, I like the song, therefore this is going to go on the record. And in some instances I can, because it's my project that I'm the one out there promoting. But we were, sitting in the room, talking through different songs and mapping out how we want the album to look like and what we want to cut. And we kind of go in before every studio session, because we cut 5 to 6 songs typically per like studio session. And so after I'd write a couple weeks, we'd go in and we'd do an A&R meeting, and we'd talk about what we want to cut during this next studio session. And we treat it kind of like a bracket, where we had like probably 6 people in the room, and we all go and talk about different songs that we love, and we have like people rate the different songs that they love, like on a 1 to 5 scale and the whole 9 yards. And that song was one that was rated high, but some people in the room didn't really believe in it, and they were like, well, I mean, it's cool, but you know, it's not like the one that I'd pick that would like go to radio or that would be like the song. And I was like, normally I would like, you know, if it's not like a win for everybody in the room, I'd be like, okay, you know, I understand we're a team and everybody here, even though I'm the one that's like my face is on it, like we're all working for this project and promoting this project. But that was one that I put my foot down and I was like, I love this song. Like, I'm sorry, I gotta fight for it. Like I really want this on the project, which meant that we had to take another song off the project because you have to only, you know, have so many spots. And I already had 24 songs on the project. So I was like, okay, I can't really. But yeah, it was one of those ones that I really felt like I just needed to fight for. And there were some that I let go that I was like, okay, you know, I love the song, but it is what it is. But that was one that I was like, this really, it means a lot. And, you know, it's fun when your teammates who are incredible and obviously make a ton of amazing decisions, but I've had some people reach out and be like, you were right. You know, like I was wrong. All right. I'm like, yeah, you know,
vindication.
Yeah. But no, there are some songs that I maybe didn't want to cut that other people were like, this song is amazing. And I was like, okay. And now it's one of my favorite songs to play ever. So I feel like it just kind of, you trust your team, you know, but then also when you feel like in your gut, something's right.
There's a healthy balance there. There's always a healthy balance there.
100%.
And all of that led you to the CMT Awards recently, where you took home Breakthrough Female Video of the Year. What an amazing moment. I mean, your first nomination and you pick up the award. I mean, take me back to that night and to winning. Were you prepared to win? Like, did you have in your mind, like, I might win this? Or because a lot of times I talk to people and they're like, there was never any idea in my mind I was going to get that award. So I'm always curious to hear those stories.
I think because it was my first like big nomination, I think I didn't really know what to expect because I think, you know, I was walking in there and I always do this where I walk in and I'm like, no, I'm not going to win it. There's no way. I'm not going to win it. It's all good. But I will say because it was a fan voted award, I had a little more confidence knowing I have like truly the absolute best fan base in the whole world. And I was like, okay, like I feel like they're the ones that would get on every day during happy hour and like or power hour and like vote and just like kill it. Yep. And so I really had faith that they were going to, you know, figure it out. But I think I walked in with like some bullet points in my mind of like who I'd want to thank, what I'd want to say. But I had no idea what to expect. And it wasn't until we were walking up to the seats and my manager was like, hey, you know, we have Ashley Cooke here, like to sit down. And the CMT like seating team was like, oh yeah, we moved her. Let's put her over here by Jelly Roll and Cody Johnson by the stage. And I was like, okay. Like,
what do you know that I don't know?
Yeah, I was like, this is a good sign. So it wasn't until then that I got really nervous and I was like, oh my God, I might have to go up there in front of an arena of people and like accept an award. And honestly, the funny thing is too, like as I'm sure you hear other musicians say this too, as an artist, performing in front of an arena or a stadium it makes me like, ooh, excited, but I'm like not nervous. Yeah. Public speaking in front of an arena, it makes me want to like
totally different.
Yeah, sorry, like for lack of better words. Like, it's so scary, you know? So
I get it.
I can get up and play a 30-minute set in front of 40,000 people any day. Right. Let's go. Like, of course, but if you're like, hey, give a 30-minute speech, I'd be like, no, no, just not doing it.
Okay, so let's jump forward a little bit then, because you're nominated for Best New Female Artist at the ACM Awards. So what happens? I mean, are you preparing your speech? Are you working on it now? Do you know? Like...
I feel like I think the ACM Awards. I think that the roster of who's nominated, like the category itself, is so stacked with amazing females that I think in my mind, I'm walking and being like, okay, I'm probably not going to win this, and that's totally okay. I hope that whoever does win it, anybody is going to be super happy because everybody in the category has worked their complete butts off, and I feel like it's not even trying to be politically correct. Like it's just an amazing category, and so I really feel like it's a little less nerve-wracking. Also, I think with this award, they don't announce it like on the actual like award show stage. It's like announced beforehand. Okay. So it's a little nerve-wracking where it's like a little different. Yeah. So yeah, we'll see what happens. I really feel like, of course, I have like who I want to thank and an idea, but a lot of it just kind of is like off the cuff when it comes down to it. So we'll see.
That show is really stacking up too. Like, Reba's hosting and you've got performances from like Post Malone's going to be there. And I've seen tons of other, I've seen emails and lists and all that people are gonna be there. Are you looking forward to the show itself? Like, is there anyone you're looking forward to seeing? Is there any kind of, yeah, curious about
Oh my
that.
gosh, yeah. I think I just saw one of my best friends in the industry is Nate Smith. He's so incredible.
Yeah.
And I
Oh
think
God.
he's performing with Avril Lavigne on the ACM
That's
Awards.
so cool. Oh, that's awesome.
I mean, if you know me, I'm obsessed with Avril Lavigne. Like I covered her version. I covered
Skater
like
girl, skater boy.
implicated in every single set that I play.
Yeah.
So I'm like obsessed. So I'm like, oh my God. So I'm pumped to see Nate win in general, like just as a human, because he's just such a good person, but also like seeing that collaboration is such a unique thing. So
That
I'm very
is
excited.
I'm with you on that. Yeah, Nate Smith is amazing. He's phenomenal. And I think he's originally from the Pacific Northwest because he played a show not too far from where I live last year. And I really wanted to go, but I couldn't make it. But yeah, he's a good dude.
Yeah, he's from Northern California.
Okay, there it is. Yeah,
Yeah, he's truly like I have a lot of really great friends in the industry, which is just country music. The genre itself is just very community oriented and the best way. But Nate Smith is one of those guys who like we just hit it off from the beginning. We text all the time. We're just like he's just like the greatest, most supportive, amazing human. So I'm very excited to see him winning the way that he is.
that's so cool. Well, his reputation precedes him because you're not the first person I've heard say that about him. So that's really awesome. And we've talked albums, songs, award shows. Let's get to touring. You're out with Jordan Davis on his Damn Good Time tour. You guys have been doing that. How has that been going? Are you having a ton of fun?
Oh my gosh, it could not be more fun. And we honestly, all three of us always are talking to each other about like, y'all, this is like really unique. Like we like actually have so much fun on this tour. And not that touring itself isn't fun normally, but
Mhm.
Jordan and Mitchell have been best friends like since they both moved to town. So they've been friends for a long time, which is really fun for them to
Yeah.
tour. Like it's like me and Nate tour together. Like it's the same kind of like fun, like we've been friends for a long time kind of situation. And then also I toured with Jordan once before and Mitchell and I had been friends for a long time. He was one of the first people that reached out to me when I was like a brand new artist in town without any deals or and like getting some buzz. And he was like, hey, if you ever need advice, like let me know. Here's my number. So he really just cared from the very beginning. And Jordan's always been like the best human ever. And we got to tour together in Europe, which we really bonded over because we got to like go overseas together and like have a really good time. So I feel like both of them I have a really unique friendship with. And they're both just the most humble, amazing, kind, fun, family oriented guys. And I feel like we all just really we hang all the time on the road. Like just not even like it's just we're all like friends truly. So it's a really, really good time.
That's cool, man. I have had the pleasure of chatting with Jordan before, and he genuinely is everything you say he is. Just one of the nicest, sweetest guys in the whole wide world. And now I'm talking to you, and I've not talked to Mitchell yet. But let me tell you something. I'm a huge, huge fan of Mitchell Tenpenny. So I'm trying. I'm gonna make it happen. I'm gonna get that trifecta. I'm gonna get the damn good time trio.
Mitchell's Mitchell's a really, really good time. He's so fun. He's so kind. And I feel like it's fun for me to hear people talk about Jordan the way they do in the best way because he was a songwriter when he first came to town. Like his whole plan wasn't to be an artist. People just loved his voice so much. And so it makes so much sense to me because I'm like, man, like he was kind of just thrown into this in the best way. And because it's like you don't expect him to be famous because he's so normal and chill. But yeah, he's just the greatest. It's
I
so fun.
totally get that. I totally see that. And I want to ask, what's on the horizon for you, Ashley? I mean, you've done, you've got a ton. We've already established it's been a year, and you've got a lot ahead. But what's on the horizon? What's after the award shows, and what's after the tours and all that?
So many things. I wish I could say. I can't fully say everything yet. We are
Sure.
working on new music, and also routing my next leg of my headline tour, which I'm very excited about. Um,
Yes.
but what I'm the most excited about is I have a lot of really, really, really cool collaborations coming up in the next couple months that I can't fully talk about yet.
Okay.
But I will say they're really unique, and the ones that I've chosen to do are on very opposite spectrums of genres in the most fun way. But yeah, it's going to be really fun. And one of the people that I'm collaborating with, I've been a fan of for a very long time. So I'm very excited to get to, collaborate with them. So it's gonna be fun.
That's very exciting. I get that you can't say much, and I respect that. I do want to ask, like, I'm curious, like, are you building these collaborations towards some like a new project? Are these all going to be part of a collection? Are they just individual things that you wanted to do for fun? Like, is there a structure you can talk about?
Yeah, so I'm currently in the process of kind of building my next wave, if you will.
Okay.
Um, and one of the collaborations is absolutely going to kind of lead into that next chapter, but
Ooh.
um, just stay tuned about which one and
Okay.
when.
We'll do it. We'll do it. We'll keep our eyes peeled. Ashley, you are the coolest. I really, really appreciate you taking time to chat today. Thank you very much.